Hi everyone, and welcome to the Knit California podcast. My name is Leslie. I'm a knitter and knitwear designer in Southern California, and in today's episode we are going to be doing another podcast vlog chat. Today is Saturday, March 22nd, and I've got a bunch of knitting updates for you and a lot planned for today in terms of knitting and spinning that I want to get done, and I want to take you along with me. So grab your own project, grab something cozy to drink, and let's get into it. So, elephant in the room, let's just talk about it. I officially finished my latest Palm Springs tank. It's off the needles! Yay! I'm wearing it. I just did a little let's try it on for the first time reel over on Instagram. See? Oh, the pups look so cute. Little pup, buddy? These are so cute. They're laying together. Okay, anyways, I'm just gonna show you. Ooh. Okay, there it is. I'll be wearing it all day, so I'm sure you'll see more of it, but I'm really happy with it. I've talked about it a whole bunch, you know, it's a tank top that's meant to have negative ease. This one I knit in 100% superwash merino. I knit the size extra large, although my gauge was a little bit different on this one, which was interesting. So this, the sizing for the one that I made is actually more similar to the size large, which is fine for me. So why are you barking at me? Yeah, my sizing right now is kind of in between a size large and an extra large, so I'm fine with the size large. Obviously it fits fine. So yeah, I'm really happy that it's finally done. I have a finished object for the month of March. Let me show you my... Ooh, wait, what? Where'd it go? Finished! Woohoo! I love when I get to put something in there. That's very, very exciting. So yeah, now that this is off the needles, my attention has shifted to a whole bunch of different projects. And I'm gonna talk to you about them right now, and then we're gonna spend the day working on some of them. So in last week's episode, you saw me blocking my Loch Ness Cowl, and so as soon as I finished this tank top, this was the first thing that I picked back up again, and so let's talk a little bit about this. Here it is. I haven't made a ton of progress on it. I have knit one additional repeat, so I had 3, 1, 2, 3, and now I have 4. Getting back into the color work has taken a little bit of time. The wave motif I totally messed up because on my colorwork chart I basically have the Nessie, like the Nessie chart obviously is wider than the wave chart is, and I just messed it up. I knit the wave and then I knit like whole space, and then I like knit another wave, and I like knit the whole thing, the whole chart, and then I was like, oh shoot, that's not how the wave was supposed to be knit. I'm supposed to like do the repeat more frequently. So I had to frog it and then knit it all again. So that set me back not a ton of rows. The wave isn't like a ton of rows, but yeah, so now when I'm in the mood for color work, I have this to pick up. I've got a whole like slew of different types of projects kind of on the go now for different types of moods. So I've got a color work project, spoiler alert, I finally picked up the button band on my Midland cardigan, so I've got that type of project. And I pulled back out my sock so that I have just plain stockinette knitting so that I could work on that during meetings and stuff when I just need plain stockinette knitting. I had this going and I was like trying to do this during a meeting and I was like, what am I doing? I cannot focus on this in a meeting. Like, I'm so ridiculous. But yeah, okay, let me tell you the details of this because I don't know if I can't remember if I told you this last week, but I am like Frankensteining two patterns together. The cowl pattern itself is the Infinity Cowl, the Infinity Doodle Cowl from Jamie Lomax, who's at Pacific Knit Co. I got the Doodle Knit directory, and this was like my inspiration kind of for this design. And so in here, she's got the Doodle Infinity Cowl, so it's gonna have the twist in it when it's all done. And that's what the overall pattern is going to look like. For the Colorwork chart itself, I'm using the Beneath the Waves pattern, which is actually a sock pattern by my friend Annabeth from Annabeth is Knitworthy. And yeah, she put this out last year and I was like, Loch Ness monster, like I'm going to Scotland, like I need this. But I didn't necessarily want to make socks. I thought it would be really cute in a cowl. So I took the Colorwork chart from the Beneath the Waves sock pattern and I just modified it slightly so that it would fit the numbers for the Infinity Cowl. I just had to like rearrange it like where the break was in the Colorwork chart. And then I did the math to make sure that I had the correct number of repeats, which it turns out when I was having my knit night with Rachel from Rachel is Knitting this week, I was talking to her about this and I was like, yeah, I only have 3 more to go, 3 more repeats. I only need to do 7 repeats. And I was like, but I'm just not sure that's gonna be enough. Like, it doesn't feel like it's gonna be long enough. And she was like, yeah, you should double check that. And so I was double checking it and I was like, maybe I need to like measure my gauge. Like now that I've blocked the top of this, let me look at the gauge. And so I pulled the book back out and I was like, okay, what's the gauge for all of these doodle cowls? And it's 24 stitches by 24 rows. And I measured my gauge up here in the blocked section. And I am nowhere near 24 stitches by 24 rows. Let me tell you where I am at. I am at 27 stitches by 32 rows. Okay, the stitch gauge for me doesn't really matter because the stitch gauge wise, like that's just the width of the tube. I don't really care about that. What I really care about is the length. And so 24 rows per 4 inches versus 32 rows per 4 inches is crazy. Now, part of this is that I am a tighter knitter and I used the same needle size that was recommended in the pattern. I am using a 3.75 millimeter needle. I probably should have gone up to a 4 millimeter needle to compensate a little bit for the gauge. Now that definitely would not have put me at 24 rows. That would have put me maybe at like 30 instead of 32, maybe 29 instead of 32. The other piece of this I think is that my main color, this blue yarn, it is a DK weight, but it's a thinner DK weight yarn, especially compared to the green. I don't know if you can tell on camera. You'll just have to take my word for it, but my main color is a thinner DK weight yarn. So the gauge of it is going to be tighter in general. So anyways, my perception was correct that 7 repeats was not going to be long enough to hit the length that would have been required for that number of rows. So anyways, I did the math, and what I really need is, it came out to 9 1/3 repeats. So I need to do 9 or 10 repeats. I'll get to 9, maybe I'll block it and see how I feel. Well, okay, what'll really happen is I'll get to 9 and I'll see how I feel. If I want to do one more, I'll, you know, pretend to like close it up and twist it, see if I can get it around my neck, and see if I need to do one more. That's really what's gonna happen. So, but I'm glad I did the math and I'm glad I figured it out. And so now at this point I have 4 done. So I'm almost halfway. And the way that I set this up in my journal, just so you can see, is I put little circles, like 1, 2, 3, 4. That's like the number of repeats. So I did 1 repeat this week. 4. Oh, this is how many I thought I needed. I need to put 3 more on here. It's not very, it's kind of a lot. Obviously I'm not doing all of that today and tomorrow. But I've done 1 out of 7, so yay. Okay, so that's the update on my Loch Ness Cowl. It's back on the needles. I'm really excited about it now that I know my color work is gonna block out and it's gonna look really pretty and not all puckery. So yeah, I'm really happy about it. And it's there for me when I'm in the mood to work on some color work. This is like, you know, TV, YouTube knitting. I definitely can't do this when I'm reading a book because I have to count every row. It's like knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You know? I don't know. When you get more experienced in color work, do you still do all of the counting in your head, or how does that work? Okay, so I teased it already, but let's move on and I'll show you my Midland cardigan. Okay, it's kind of a mess. And it doesn't look like much progress, but I spent so many hours yesterday working on this button band. Then I had to rip it out and start over, but that's what happens, right? Okay, so I picked up all the stitches. It was way easier than I thought it was going to be. I was worried about a lot of things, but one of the things I was worried about was picking up the correct number of stitches in each section, because that's usually not something that I really ever pay attention to when I'm picking up stitches, especially for like picking up sleeve stitches or like collar stitches in patterns. I usually just pay attention to where it says like pick up 2 out of every 3 stitches. Like, to me that feels like the more important instruction, especially if your like gauge is a little bit off, which my gauge usually is. So that's one thing that I was worried about, but I put stitch markers all along each section to make sure I was like, you know, measuring the correct sections. And then I was just very careful and I picked up pretty much exactly the correct number of stitches in each section. So I was very, very proud of myself. That went very well. And then I started the button band. And I started the button band on my 4.5mm needles, and I'll show you the photo. I got, I don't know, maybe this far, and it was not right. It was too much fabric. It was all wobbly. You could tell it was not the correct needle size to be using. So I had to rip it all out and restart using 4mm needles. So that's where I'm at now. Here's my tiny bit of a restart. It's looking better. I am guessing that this is the correct needle size for me to be using, but I will obviously be, you know, looking at it more in depth as I keep going, just to make sure it's not puckering, and you know, it needs to look proportional, and it needs to look right. If it still looks too big, I can go down again. I have my 3.75mm needles that I bought. So yes, I swatched, right? I did swatch, and I don't know, I swatched on the 4mm needles, and I had about 6 rows per inch, and the pattern said you wanted 5 rows per inch, which is why I decided not to go with the 4mm needles at first. So I don't know, it's like even when you do swatch, sometimes you have to redo it anyways. So, but I'm proud of myself for picking up the stitches. It was way easier than I thought it was gonna be. I did just need to I just needed the time and the space to sit down and do it, you know? I don't know. Yesterday I just had the space where I could sit down with the pattern. I could start picking them up. I could, yeah, really just take the time to look at what I was doing, fully understand, okay, here is the spot, you know, along the edge where I'm going to pick up each stitch, and then here's the spot where I'm going to pick up each of the extra stitches, and I just figured it out. And then I just did that all the way across. And it took a really long time, but it wasn't as difficult as I thought it was going to be. So now the button band itself is not difficult. It is just going to be time consuming. But my plan is to spend a lot of time on this weekend, because I mean, this is the last section of this cardigan to complete, and I would like to get it done and get another finished object off my needles. I'm not trying to finish this for an event or anything at this point. I guess at this point I just want to get it done in March. So I do have 9-10 days before the end of March. So yeah, I have time. It's not a huge deal. I do want to wear it though. Do you think this purple goes well with this blue? Can I wear it with this tank top? Yeah, I think that'd be fine. Very colorful. This week I ordered yarn to make a second one. Hedgehog Fibers was having a 25% off sale for St. Patrick's Day on their Tweedy yarn, and so I bought the dark gray, I think it was Soot, dark gray Tweedy to make another Midland cardigan, which I think will be really nice. Like a dark gray cardigan will kind of go with any color shirt or tank top underneath, and jeans, you know, it'll be a nice neutral. I feel like a darker cardigan over a lighter shirt is a great combo for me. Gray like a dark gray is one of my soft summer colors. It's much better for me compared to black. So I'm really looking forward to that. I don't know when I'll cast it on, but I'm really looking forward to it. And since I was already paying for shipping, I also bought a couple fiber bats. So one lucky dip. So that's like their kind of random, although I think they showed the colors online, so I don't know. And then one is like a purple tweedy bat. So yeah, all right, that's the update on my Midland cardigan. You'll probably see me working on this today. One of the annoying things is that I made it past 3 buttonholes. Yeah, and so when you do the buttonholes, you cut your yarn. And so now I have all these little sections of yarn, and I used the wrong one for like the bottom section. Like this was the yarn segment that I should have used for the first bottom section until the first buttonhole. Anyways, I used the wrong one. And I'm slightly worried that I'm playing yarn chicken with this. I have another small ball also. I have this much yarn left for the entire button band, so I'm just slightly worried that I'm playing yarn chicken. We'll find out. But okay, that's what's going on with my Midland cardigan. Sock update. I have knit 5 rows on my sock during a meeting yesterday. I'm on the foot, so that's it. Nothing super exciting. This is the sock set Evermore from Sewrella Yarn. That's it, that's the update. I don't think you want me to talk any more about that. Okay, the last thing that I wanted to talk to you about knitting wise was about my hand spun. I went on a little bit of a rant last week about how I don't really want to knit with my hand spun right now, and then I was talking to Rachel about it, and she set me a challenge slash kind of bullied me into casting on a skein of my hand spun into a shawl before we go to Scotland. And so I pulled out some like DK skeins in my stash to see which ones would go really nicely with this one, and I found this purple, which is Rough Draft from Sewrella Yarn. I have 2 skeins of this, but I think I'll only need 1. I found a bunch of patterns, shawl patterns that I really like. I was specifically looking for like a brioche and garter stitch shawl. I was looking at all the Andrea Mowry shawls, but they all took like a lot of yarn, and I didn't have like enough hand spun. This is like 240 grams, which seems like a lot because I only had 2 4-ounce braids, which should have been 200 grams each, or 100 grams each, which would be 200 grams total. So I don't know how I ended up with 240 grams. Someone can explain that spinning math to me, let me know. Is it just because there maybe was like a little bit more than 4 ounces in the braids? That's my only thought. But does the yarn get denser and therefore weigh more when you spin it? I don't know. Okay. Anyways, I was looking on Ravelry because the Andrea Mowry patterns, I wasn't in love with any of the ones that I saw. None of them seemed right with the amount of yarn that I had. I really only wanted to use like these 2 skeins. And so none of them seemed right. And so then I just went on to Ravelry and I put in shawls, knitting, brioche, and I found this one, which is called Diatom by Camille. Oh gosh, she's French. Camille Descoteaux. I'm really sorry if I'm butchering any of these names. Diatom? Anyway, it's this really gorgeous, like, elongated triangle brioche shawl with some eyelets and a really cute delicate picot edge. And it says it only takes 2 skeins, so I think I would have leftover of this and I would only need this 1 skein, and I think it would be really pretty in this yarn. So I'm really considering casting this on this weekend as well. What do you think? Does this look good? I think it'll be really cute. And you can all get your wish of me casting on my hand spun. I'm really nervous about knitting with it. It's gonna be different. It's not gonna look the same, and it's so pretty in its little skein. But I do think it'll be fun. And I really just need like a really high boost of serotonin, like a really large serotonin knit right now, and I feel like this is it. I feel like this will really hit the spot. So that's what we're aiming for with this. And I think this will really be cute. So alright, that's the knitting. I have one acquisition to share with you. Oh, I got my Twice Sheared Sheep spring surprise box, which came in yesterday, Friday, and so I thought we could open this really quickly. I did already open it, I'll be honest. I really like some of the stuff that's in here, so it feels like a bigger box than was necessary this month, but ooh, can you see? Ooh. Okay, let me show you what's in here really quickly, then we'll get to the vlog. Alright, so here's the yarn for this month. This is from the Sheepyshire. It's in their staple sock fingering weight, which is a 75/25 superwash merino nylon. This colorway is called Skipper. It's really gorgeous blue. The theme for this month, I don't know, was there a theme? I don't know, it's like blue, springy, almost like, I don't know, mountainy. The row counter is a size small with this like blue moth, which I think is really pretty. I really like this one. I'm excited about this. Although the charm seems really large for a size small row counter. I don't know, I'm wondering if it's going to be heavy, but I have been needing more size smalls because I've been knitting a lot of fingering weight stuff with my tank tops and everything. So this one would have been perfect for my blue tank top. This would have matched so well. I'm gonna need to cast on another blue. Okay, these stitch markers are little butterflies. They're really pretty. I've never seen stitch markers like this. They're like puffy. Oh, of course you're gonna turn around. I don't want you to turn around. Okay, let me see. You see them? Aren't those so cute? They're so cute. Okay, there you go. Turn it around. They're puffy, they're gold on the back. But yeah, these are also for size small needles, so the opening is really small. But that's okay. I like those. Those are really cute. Oh, this is one of my favorite things. Mostly because I'm going to Scotland. It's a Highland cow. Measuring tape. This is my new favorite one. I've been using, my favorite one has been the alpaca, but this has taken its spot as my favorite measuring tape. So thank you, Dawn. A new tin, which is really cute. I really like this one. This is a different, I feel like, art style than we've gotten in the past. I feel like we've just gotten these like single animals, and this is like a whole scene. It's a mountain scene with a girl and her goats. Anyways, this I'm transitioning to this tin now. I really like this one. There's some really cute stuff. We got duo repair hooks, which are always nice. We've got a new bag, which is a new size. This is a small bag. We've never had bags this size before. They're always, oh, I've got one right here. This is the like normal size, and now they're small. So that's exciting, something new. And I like this fabric, this just like blue green leaves. Really cute. This is like the perfect one, you know, one skein project for your socks or whatever. And I love how these are all blue. Like this is all, it's all themed very nicely. And I'm wearing the right shirt for it today. Okay, and then the last thing in here is a Yarn to Go carousel, which I do have one of these, but this one has it's a mandala, which I think is a new design for them. The other one that I have is a sheep, I think. It's got sheeps on it, so this is really pretty. If you haven't seen how these work, I'll just show you really quickly. So it's got the base. Well, it's got two parts of the base. So it goes like this, and these magnet together. Okay, and then this is the stem, I guess you'd say, like this. So that sticks through, and you can put this on. So there's two ways you can use this. If you are going to be like walking around with your yarn, what I would do is I would not bring this base because it's just magnet, and like if you bump into stuff, this could fall off. So you're gonna stick your yarn through here, and it didn't come with the strap. Maybe it assumes you already have a strap, but there's like a wrist strap that connects to this. Okay, yeah, my other one is sheep. Okay, so here's the wrist strap. So you hook the wrist strap on. Okay, and so now when you're walking, you can knit and carry this on your wrist, which is really cool, and it'll just spin as you're knitting with it, and you can carry your yarn. The second way that you can use this, you don't need the wrist strap, and you would use the base, is if you are just sitting at your desk, and this is like a Lazy Susan carousel. So as you're sitting at your desk and you're knitting, this just glides off. This is my favorite use for this, because how often are we just like sitting at a desk or a table and like our ball of yarn is just like flying away? This keeps it steady and like in place, and it's just like really easy to like get more yarn. So this is like one of the reasons why I love these. So I think the mandala design is exclusive to the box. However, the sheep should be available on the Twice Sheared Sheep website, which isn't this really cute? I love the little white sheep, black sheep. So, and you can get the little straps on the website as well. And if you know me, you know I have an affiliate link for Twice Sheared Sheep in the description box down below. So if you're interested, go grab one. I love mine. So, all right, that is the unboxing. That's everything that's in the box. Really cool box this quarter. Yeah, I'm into it. So thank you, Dawn. I was gifted this box as an affiliate, so thank you, Dawn. Thank you, Katie. I appreciate it. And what are we gonna do the rest of the day? I don't know. At some point we're gonna have to cake these up and cast this on, but I think first I'm just gonna keep working on my button band. Oh, we're gonna spin at some point today. I didn't tell you, I'm halfway through my X's and O's braid. So I've got to spin up the rest of this at some point this weekend. Probably, if I feel like it. So, I don't know. Let's just get into the rest of the vlog. We'll see what happens. Good morning, everyone. It's Sunday. I have some updates for you on what I worked on yesterday. First of all, being my Midland Cardigan button band, which is hurting my feelings because I think I need to go down another needle size or multiple needle sizes. I'm really not sure. I'm having a hard time with this. And I'm annoyed because I swatched and I feel like I'm doing what the pattern says. And I'm still just like unsure about what is correct. So it'll probably be easier to see with the photos that I put up, but okay, so here's what I have so far. I don't even know if you can tell from this. Like kind of on screen it looks fine. And I also feel like maybe I haven't knit enough yet to be able to tell if it's, like if it's not sturdy enough or if I need to go down a needle size or what. So that's what I'm having issues with. I posted it on Instagram and a few people said, yes, it looks like you probably need to go down another needle size. So I think that's what I'm gonna do is I'm going to rip it back and probably, this is a 4mm needle, so maybe I'll go down to like a 3. Because a couple of people messaged me, the couple of people who did message me said like, in the couple button bands that I've knit the body on this size and the button band on this size, and there was like a large gap in between. And right now what I'm using is a 4.5mm on the body and a 4mm on the button band, which is not a large gap. So I think I'll try and go down just like a lot more sizes. I think the other thing that I'm noticing is like the bottom of the button band is really getting pushed down below like the edge of the cardigan. And a couple other people were messaging me and saying, oh, maybe you just picked up too many stitches in that section of the like ribbing section, which is potentially also another thing. But I picked up the number of stitches that was recommended in the pattern. Like I knit the ribbing to the correct length recommended, and then I picked up the number of stitches that was recommended. So, but I may like just take out maybe the last stitch that I picked up, the very bottom stitch that I picked up. Maybe that'll help bring it up a little bit. I don't know, I've got to play around with it, but I was too annoyed yesterday to do anything about this. Yeah, see, like I can go like this and it's like, it doesn't look right. Anyways, I was too annoyed yesterday to rip it back because I had ripped it back Friday. So I guess I'll have to do that today. Anyways, because I didn't work on this, I did make a decent amount of progress on my Loch Ness Cowl. And I've got like 2.5 more repeats done. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I did 5 and 6. I got the Nessie done. I just need to do the wave. So at this point I am officially over halfway done with the cowl. Yay! So that's really exciting. I was only going to do 1 repeat. I was only going to do 1 repeat per day. And then I needed couch knitting while I was watching Outlander last night. Well, I was watching The Traders UK and Outlander. And I didn't really want to work on my sock. So I was like, well, might as well just keep working on this. It was like too late in the evening to like cast on anything new. So might as well keep working on this. It's stockinette, yes it's Colorwork, but I've been working on it all day, so I'm feeling comfortable with it, blah 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 blah. Yeah, so I'm feeling really happy with this right now. And yes, I am getting more comfortable with the Colorwork, so that's great. One other update, which I forgot to share yesterday, I wound up, probably shouldn't hold it like that, I don't know, that looks weird. I wound up my Luxe Alpaca Linen Silk yarn from Dusty Yarn Co. in the colorway Bachelorette for my next Palm Springs tank. So this is ready to go to get on my needles, and I haven't put away my 3.5mm needles, so this is ready to go. I considered casting this on yesterday as well, and then I was just like, do I want to? Oh, and the other reason why I didn't was because I am considering giving myself a challenge with this knit, trying to see if I can knit this in like a week or so. I think I talked to you about this last week. This one, I think it's because it's the linen and the silk. It really didn't close up the middle. Silly. Yeah, that's why I didn't cast this on last night. If I want to do that, I'm gonna have to like pause all of my other whips and just like solely focus on this, which I could do. I don't know if I'm in the mood for that right now, like today specifically. I don't know, today specifically I feel like I want to cast on that shawl, the Diatom that I talked to you about yesterday, so I might wind up that yarn and cast that on. And I want to finish my spin. I think I'm going to do that first. I think I'm going to finish my X's and O's spin, and then maybe we'll cast on the new shawl. So yeah, I'll take you along for the rest of today, and then we'll close out this podcast vlog chat. So yay. Look, 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 look. Ta-da! It's done. This whole braid is spun up and it's so beautiful. I love it. And so now I'm just going to prep this fiber and just get like one little piece spun up and on my wheel, so it's ready to go, so I don't feel like all the hard work is like there and waiting for me, and so that when I want to spin I can just sit down and spin. Basically do all the prep now. So that's what I'm gonna do. I love making it into little putting it in a little, I don't know, a little bun like this. It looks so silly. gosh, you guys. Look how big this cake is. This is the biggest cake I've ever made in my whole life. This is insane, but I have cast on this shawl. We'll see how it goes. My hand spun is definitely not DK weight. It's definitely worsted or Aran or maybe even bulky, like, so I'm using a 4.5mm needle. The pattern calls for 4mm, but I would have gone up, if I was using both yarns DK weight, I would have gone up to 4.5mm anyways. So I'm just gonna keep going, see how this goes. I don't know, obviously at this point this is kind of like too small to like tell anything, so I'll at least go to like and finish the first section before I decide if like I hate it. The two different like yarn weights mixed together, but I wanted to show you. It's kind of fun. So I'm gonna keep working on this and yeah, just have a relaxing afternoon. I think I'm gonna close out the podcast vlog chat here. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you're not subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button and I will see you on the next one. Bye!